Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. So today I'm just going to quickly show you how I collect some of my snapdragon seeds as well as the Calibrachoa seeds that I planted last year. So I normally just collect seeds and then replant them next year so that I end up not having to buy as much. So let's go and show you that right away. So here I have a container of Calibrachoas that I planted from seed last year, and if you look really closely, I don't know if you can see, but there are some seed heads that are very mature and they're almost about ready to be picked. Now if you end up finding these and you want to pick them right now, they probably will do okay, but I would not recommend picking some of the smaller size seed heads, because I think this one is very mature and this one, but it's not, as you can see the size a little bit smaller. I don't know, it's hard to see. There it is. So this one I wouldn't pick, but I would definitely pick something that I had to just show you, like that one there, right? But I'm gonna go over to another container. I'll show you one that's actually just perfect to be picked. So here I have a very mature seed head that has just open, and you can literally see all the black seeds. I know it's hard to see, I hope you can see it. You can literally open up and see how the seed heads, when they're mature and they're fully dried up and they're ready, they open up and they have these little black seeds here. Let me just, there it is. See, they have these little black seeds in there that looks like that. And if you pick them at the right time, which is like this time, they'll be perfectly mature and they'll guarantee to germinate for you when you sow them next spring. So I've got a whole bunch of them collected here, and all I do is I leave it in the container like this to dry for about a few weeks, and then eventually all the seed heads will open up and I just shake all the seeds out and I've got it. So you can kind of see I've got some already in there. So all these little black little seeds there that I've got are all the same seed, but you can kind of tell that I've also collected some that haven't really opened up like that, right? So eventually I will let them dry out like this and then just collect the seeds and sow them for next year. Here's another seed head that I found that is nicely formed and the seeds are still intact. And if you come any later than this, you're gonna find that these seeds are gonna drop all over the place, and you might just have little seedlings that come up in your garden. But I like to pick these up and plant them where I want them to be for next year, so that way it's more controlled. But anything else that doesn't look like that, like some of the other ones that I picked up just now, like these, like this one here, for example. So all I do is I put them in the container and I let them dry out for a couple of weeks or so, and then I can just pick out the seeds and save them for next year. So here's what I've collected from all of my Calibrachoa. I have another batch somewhere in the garage drying right now, but here's a new batch that I've just collected. And before I show you the seed of the mini snapdragon, I thought I would show you this. And there was a question, I think somebody asked how this hydrangea is doing, and I just want to show you this one. I know it has only 3 stems. It's the hydrangea that I actually grew from seed last year. It was a tiny little thing that I kind of replanted in this pot this past spring, and it has now 3 stems, and it's about, I would say, 2.5 feet tall. And just recently, I know like in September, it started to show the panicles. So unfortunately now we are in fall, so the panicles here may not have a chance to open up fully, but I'm just so thrilled. It could be that it is blooming a little bit later than usual, because it is a brand new plant, and this is actually its first full year growing as a new plant. So I'm hoping to see it bloom a little bit earlier next year, so that way I can show you what it will look like. Now I have a few more plants that I actually grew from seed this year as well, which I'm gonna show you right now. So here's a batch of the Panico hydrangeas that I actually grew from seed this year. This one I think is the biggest of them all. It's about, oh goodness, I would say about 6 inches tall, and it's got tons and tons of leaves, which is so good. I'm going to be planting these in the ground so that they have a better chance of surviving our cold winter. Then I've got a few more that looks beautiful. I love the fact that the foliage is that reddish color and the stem here as well, right? So I'm not sure what these will look like, but I'm just so excited. I love the fact that the color is just so pretty. And then I've got a few more like that as well. Like this one is also a reddish stem. And then this one too is a little bit of a reddish stem as well, but so pretty. So all of these actually from seeds that I grew this past spring. So here I have a small batch of the mini Snapdragon mix that I planted last year, and there are some beautiful seed heads that are fully mature and ready to be picked. So I've got a few seed heads here. You can kind of see like this one, for example. I'm just going to pull it off so you can see it. And this is actually a good time for me to start picking the seeds. So this one is not too bad. I'm just going to leave it in the container to dry for a few weeks, and then the seed pods would open up and you would have little seeds inside. I can open one for you to see, but I think I'm gonna let this one dry up, and I'll open another one that's a bit more mature. So this one, for example, if I just come a little bit closer, this is actually dried and actually ready to open up. You can kind of see that the seed pod looks like that. Oops, it's hard to see it there. I hope you can see that now. And if you, I'm just going to bring that over here. And if I snap this open, and you can kind of see that there are little seeds inside. There they are. They look like little poppy seeds. They look very similar to the Calibrachoa seeds that I just showed you earlier. But these are a little bit sort of, okay, sorry, there, I hope you can see that. Yeah, they're like little poppy seeds like that. See? It's hard to see, but there you go, like that, see? Small little seeds. So here's another nice Snapdragon seed that I have here. So I'm just gonna pull it out, and just like before, if I snap this open, you'll be able to see the little seeds in the middle. So this is actually the best time to pick the seeds so that they are fully mature and ready, and also completely dry so that they don't get moldy. But I still would recommend that you leave it out for about a week or two in the garage or somewhere that's dry so that it can completely cure, and that way you can actually save them properly for sowing next year. So here are some of the Snapdragon seeds that I just collected, and so that pretty much concludes today's video. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video inspires you to go out in the garden and see what seeds you can collect and replant for next year. So anyhow, take care everyone, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye bye for now.